Life was not very pleasant in the past. From various diseases to various strange thoughts have disturbed the normal life of people many times. In today's age, as you are enjoying air in peace with AC running, in the past, people were always fighting to survive. Medieval era is also a warlike world, which is also called Dark Age. So today, I will take you to the medieval era and see how people lived in the castle at that time. Before I start, if you are new to the channel and love history, definitely subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. Thank you. If we talk about the history of Europe, it can be said that people of earlier days had very little knowledge about germs, as a result of which they considered any disease as a curse of God. It was no different even in the medieval period. There was a great lack of toilets in medieval castles. Castles often had a room called privy or latrine. This was a simple toilet, usually a small chamber of the side of the castle. It had a bench with a hole in it, and below the hole was a drop that led down to a pit or a drain. The privy was usually built away from the main living areas to keep smells and germs away. Some castles had privies that opened directly over the castle's walls, allowing waste to drop down into the moat or outside the castle. People used straw, rags, or wood shavings to help clean them after using the toilet. Waste would accumulate in the pits until it was full. Then workers would have to remove it, usually by digging it out or letting it decompose. Some castles had a simple drainage system that carried waste away, but many just relied on the natural decomposition process. Nobles and royalty often had more private and luxurious toilets, sometimes even with basic seating or partition for privacy. You probably never heard that everyone is drunk inside in the medieval castle because the water in medieval times was often contaminated and not safe to drink. Rivers and wells could have harmful bacteria and waste. To avoid getting sick, people turned to drinks that were safer like ale, beer, and wine. The fermentation process made these drinks safer than water. In many households, including those in castles, ale or beer was consumed at almost every meal. It was a normal part of life, and not just for celebration. Even children drank weak beer, which was seen as a safer option than water. Drinking was widely accepted and even expected in medieval society. People didn't think of alcohol the same way we do today. It was simply a part of their daily lives. And let me tell you one more thing about the medieval castle. That is, medieval castles were very dark and cold. Castles had small windows to make them stronger against attacks. Fewer windows meant less natural light could enter the rooms. The walls of castles were made of thick stone. This helped protect against enemies, but also kept light from coming in. The thick walls absorbed light and made the interior feel even darker. Lighting in castles mostly came from fireplaces and torches. While these sources provided some light, they were often dim and flickering, creating shadows and making the rooms feel darker. There was little to no insulation in castle walls, so heat easily escaped. Without modern materials to keep warm inside, the temperature could drop significantly, especially during cold months. Now let's see what kind of cooking was done in the medieval castle. Cooking in a medieval castle was all about making food for different types of people. Nobles had fancy meals. They often ate roast meats like beef, lamb, and venison. They enjoyed rich sauces, vegetables, and fruits. Common vegetables including peas and carrots, while fruits like apples and pears were served fresh or dried. Knights ate hearty food to maintain their strength. Their meals included stew made from meat and vegetables. Servants ate simpler meals, often made from leftovers from noble meals. They had gruel and simple stews. Children in the castle ate similar food to servants but in smaller portions. They had bread with cheese and a bit of fruit. Guests were treated to lavish feasts. The cook would prepare multiple courses of various meats, fish, and pastries. On certain religious days, everyone, including nobles, would eat simpler meals. They might have fish instead of meat and vegetables instead of rich dishes. People usually woke up with the sun. The castle had no electric lights, so they relied on daylight. The family would eat a simple breakfast, often bread and cheese or porridge. Servants would prepare the food. In the evenings, people play games like chess or checkers. They might tell stories or sing songs. There were festivals for holidays, where everyone would come together to celebrate with music, dancing, and food. As the sun set, people went to bed early. They slept on straw-filled mattresses and used blankets for warmth. Guards patrolled the castle walls at night to keep everyone safe from intruders. Life was tough, people often got sick, and medicine was not advanced. Many children didn't survive to adulthood. Life in a medieval castle was a mix of work, duty, and some fun. The people followed a daily routine that kept the castle running and everyone safe. While the lords and ladies had more privileges, everyone played an important role in castle life. So for today, don't forget to tell us how you felt. Would you like to live in the medieval castle? I really want to know. Let me know in the comments and tell me which medieval things you want to hear about next. Thanks a lot for watching the full video. See you in the next video. Stay well.